I've had some great people help in editing the work and on these things. It was Mike Liederman, Mary Field, John Calloway is always very helpful in the writing process. And thank you very much.
Emily, this is our last one. It's been swell.
I wish we could do 20 more of these. All right. Category 45, writing, PSAs, and promos. And the nominees are...
Jay Elliott, Composite, Fox Sportsnet Chicago. Dean Magdalene, Citizenship, WSNS. Tom Vodig, Composite, WPWR, WGN.
And the Emmy goes to Jay Elliott, Composite, Fox Sports Net, Chicago.
How to hit a home run in 3 easy steps. First, get a good grip. Second, keep your eye on the ball. And third, keep your swing from 2,000 to the second. Apply 10,000 pounds of force 17 centimeters from the end of the barrel upon impact. The ball will compress an inch and re-accelerate in the opposite direction approximately 400 feet. But hey, take your time. You've got a full 4/10 of a second to make adjustments. For more helpful tips, watch the Cubs battle the Sox, where instructors Sosa and Ordonez are scheduled to put on a clinic. Cubs Sox coming June 20th to Fox Sportsnet.
Thank you very much. I'm not Jay Elliott, but he would like to thank Fox Sports, the Denver chapter, Jim Corno, and all the promotion producers and editors who helped him put these spots together. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Emily Barr. Thank you, Phil Ponce. Seth Bardelas, Maria Ponce, come out. We should meet our trophy people. They're up here working their tush off all night. Come on out, say hi. Seth, thank you. Maria, thank you. Maria's Phil's daughter. She's talented, charming, beautiful. You only have to look at Phil to realize it skips a generation. It's great. Thank you, guys. You know what? Actually, now we're going to do a little bit of a 7th inning stretch. So if you could just stand up. We're not going to sing or anything. Just stand if you can. If not, at least shake hands with the person to your right. Come on, let's do this. Guys, you've been to Pettorino's, right? You know, I just looked in the Italian-American dictionary. Pettorino means starch. So let's work those carbohydrates off. Shake hands with the person to your left. We are a community. Come on. Shake hands with the person on your right. Good, very good. Thank you. Now ask that person if they would like to work at your station. All right, thank you. You can sit down now. Very good. Thank you. Don't leave. All right, you may resume your seatedness. Thank you. I hope we've spawned a whole lot of new employment opportunities. Now, who's next up at the plate? Ah, yes. How about the world's greatest welcome for John Vitanovic, Vice President and General Manager of WGN and Regional Vice President of Tribune Television, and co-presenter, the wonderful Allison Rosati, anchor reporter at WMAQ. Big hand.
You know, we were discussing it. I think they got the wrong Allison paired with you.
Well, you can't go wrong as long as I have an Allison with me.
You know, I was thinking this could be a great idea for a new reality television show. Next year, we all have to go home with the general manager we present with.
Well, you know, we could go on.
It's an idea.
We could go on a while, but Tom Skilling used all of Channel 9's time, so we'll get right down to business.
Did you like the 7th inning stretch? We were going to pass out those mints with the caffeine as well, but we ran out. The young man ate all of them. All right, here we are. Category 20, live or unedited coverage of sporting events, single programs, or series.
Chicago Bulls on WGN-TV, WCIU, WGN, WCIU. Chicago Cubs coverage, Fox Sportsnet Chicago. Cubs baseball on WGN-TV, WGN. NBC5 presents the 25th anniversary LaSalle Bank Chicago Marathon, WMAQ. Sounds of the Game, Fox Sports Net North, Wisconsin.
I know who you're rooting for, and you know who I'm rooting for, but the Emmy goes to, and I'll let you open it because I can't stand the tension.
Emmy goes to NBC5 presents the 25th anniversary of the LaSalle Bank Chicago Marathon. Congratulations.
All right.
Well, welcome to Grant Park. You're looking down on where 37,000 runners, more than that really, getting ready to roll for 26.2 miles, and the world's fastest elite athlete field ever is gearing up for what could be an historic day.
Oh, Darian, it's very, very exciting out here. I can't wait to see Khalid Kanucci and Paul Tarragett battle it out today.
NBC5 Chicago presents the 25th anniversary LaSalle Bank Chicago Marathon.
Hi. We'd like to thank, first of all, the folks at LaSalle Bank, and also we'd like to thank Mr. Tom Schnecke, who is no longer with us, but he is definitely one of the guys who makes this thing go, and he's a very talented dude. We thank you, Tom, for everything. Also like to thank the whole crew, the talent, who are unbelievable. We all got up at like 2 in the morning, and it was insane. But also like to thank Carol Cooling, who is another rock who keeps me sane. So thank you, Carol. And of course, Mr. Larry Wirt, who makes everything go. So there are 2 other people that I'd like to recognize. First of all is the woman right here, who I've been with for about 8 years, and as Tom mentioned, she's actually leaving. So we've been together for a long time, doing a lot of specials, and if you don't know her work, I'm sure you do, because she doesn't like to take any glory. But she is the most talented producer I've ever worked with, and she's the best in the business. This is Lisa Justin. And of course, as I couldn't match what Tom Schnecke eloquently said about Darian Chapman, but he means a lot to all of us, and every day we think about him. So thank you, DC.
Congratulations
That
on
is
that.
really awesome.
Next, Category 21, series covering sports events excluding live coverage. And the nominees are
Final Word, WFLD. Preps Extra, WBBM. Bears Sunday Live, WFLD. Heartland AIDS Ride, 2002, WBBM. Sports Page, Composite, CLTV.
your turn.
And the Emmy goes to, this is always so much fun, isn't it? Okay. Oh, my goodness.
Not as easy as it looks.
It isn't. Emmy goes to Preps Extra, WBBM, Adam Dew, Matt Gomberg, producers.
Believe in us, believe in each other, and it'll all follow through.
We stuck together?
You can't stop me. I'm not going to lose. You know, I've been waiting for this my whole life.
Wow. Yeah, our goal is to make this the most traveled show in Chicago history. We've been at WGN, we were Preps Plus, we've been at NBC, we were the NBC5 High School Sports Show, we've been at BBM, we were Preps Extra, so we're looking for a new home right now, but, you know, I'll be around after the show. So I wouldn't be here without Bob Carzoli and Program Productions, the company that actually takes care of this show on a week-to-week basis over the last 5 years. And my producer and friend Matt Gomberg, Tim O'Halloran, and everybody else that's been a part, and especially the kids. There's no greater place to cover high school sports in America than Chicago, and these kids deserve a show like this. So thanks very much.
Just want to take this moment, too, to wish all of you a happy Monday. Very exciting, isn't it?
It's
To know
still-
we can all get out and party on a Monday.
Still Monday.
Very well done.
Still Monday.
Still Monday. All right. Category number 22, my lucky number. Single program covering sports or based on a sports theme. Here are the nominees.
Fox Draft Day Live, WFLD. The House That Green Bay Built, Lambeau Field's 45th anniversary, WGBA. The 2002 IHSA Football Pairings, WYCC. Chicago Stories, Softball Stories, WTTW.
Thank you, my lady. God, love those cheese heads. The House That Green Bay Built, Lambeau Field's 45th anniversary, WGBA.
Stands as a monument to Packer fans everywhere, and it turns 45 years old tomorrow.
From humble beginnings to a mystique that leaves opposing players in awe.
This is the house that Green Bay built. The house that is hallowed ground in football legend. This is Lambeau Field.
I would just like to say thank you, and unfortunately, one of our hosts of the show couldn't wait through the intermission. She's back there. Valerie, you got to come up and join me. We've been down here for 5 years in a row, sitting in the very back seat every single year, nominated more than 10 times, and this is our first win. So Valerie has to come up here. Valerie's been nominated. Our station's only 7 years old, and she's been nominated every single year that we've been here. And part of the reason that we're winning this is because of Valerie Lego. And I want to say thank you to her, thank you to my staff that worked on it, and thank you to my wife who's at home, as she tells me, working with our 2 kids. She's a stay-at-home mom, and she allows me to do what I like to do best. So I thank her. Thank you.
Your turn.
Okay, category 23, sports segment, feature.
Preps Plus, Ronnie Washington, WTMJ. High School Sports Spotlight, WMAQ. Loyola's 1963 NCAA Champs, WTTW. Mott's in Baton, WGN.
All right.
All yours.
And the Emmy goes to... Congratulations, WGN, Mott's in Bataan.
All right.
They were forced to surrender to the Japanese at the southern port city of Marvelos.
That's when the old guy said we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. And we were in big trouble. We started walking.
70 miles in 2 months in what would become known as the Bataan Death March. The American and Filipino soldiers were forced to march non-stop, not even allowed water, and shot if they failed to continue on. Guards took whatever they could from their prisoners. For Tonelli, that meant giving up his valued Notre Dame ring.
Thank you. Mott Snelly, the guy in that piece, died a couple months after it aired, but I want to thank him and his family. They were so gracious to have us in. Thanks to Mike Bars, our shooter, Sean Maroney, and our editor, Quan Webster. Thanks very much.
All right. Kind of what's happening here tonight. Category number 27, media interactivity.
Hey, but you do this for a living.
Vital Signs, Breast Cancer Episode, WBBM. The Experiment, Gay and Straight, WFLD. High School Hazing, WMAQ.
There you go.
All right, thank you. The Experiment, Gay and Straight, WFLD.
Is your 7th day, 10 complete strangers with 10 completely different points of view.
From different walks of life
different ages, different races, different sexual orientations,
came together and broke down some of the barriers and jumped some of the hurdles that have separated gay and straight Americans for many generations.
Thousands of people emailed the 10 housemates directly with comments and questions.
postcards I'm sure will get to us after a while.
Wow. I guess I want to say I want to thank everybody at WFLD. They're just an absolute thrill to work with them. Mark Saxmeyer, Darlene, and also my co-worker Neville Botta. Thank everybody at What's Up Interactive, and thank you. It's an absolute thrill. Go Fox!
Good evening. I'm Jim Dish, president of this local chapter of the National Television Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, among the colleagues we've lost this year, who we honor tonight, and whose names you will find in these program books, is one person whose passing warrants personal reflection by this assembly. On November 10th, we lost one of our own. Irv Kupcinet was not only a Chicago icon, he was this Academy's best friend. And tonight, as we celebrate 45 years of Emmy Awards, we honor the man who started it all. Irv Kupcinet founded our chapter and was its first president. And nothing could speak better to the mission of this Academy than the kinescope you're about to see of Kup addressing the very first Emmy Planning Committee 45 years ago. We thank you, Kup, for your dedication, for your vision, and for making it all possible.
We have a tremendous spirit and a growing enthusiasm, and anybody who thinks television is dead in Chicago has only to be here tonight to see these magnificent results. The spirit of cooperation is everywhere. And where but in Chicago could we get all 4 stations plus our educational channel to cooperate in a joint civic effort as they are doing tonight and will continue to do throughout our career, we hope. Getting all channels to cooperate is like getting Eddie and Debbie to go out on a blind date with Liz. It wasn't easy to do. It is the spirit and the intention of the Academy to improve local television by giving awards, by holding seminars and forums, by doing everything we can to improve standards and techniques, and also to take our rightful place on the network scene and to have a voice in the national elections and the awards of the Emmy.
I had the distinct pleasure of being on Kup's show once. I proudly place this here. It was an amazing experience. The other guests on the show, and I swear I did not make this up, were Mr. T, Quentin Crisp, and Pudgy. I was the only one with a real name. Unbelievable. Kup introduced us as 4 fine members of the performing arts. I thought suddenly I'm from the Paleolithic period. Anyway, I had done 3 shows in a row at SNL, 3 weeks, no sleep, flew in on the Sunday to do Kup's show. And so help me God, I fell asleep on Kup's show. You know how embarrassing it is when you wake up in church and you do that thing? This was a TV show. And meanwhile, Pudgy and Mr. T are doing fag jokes on Quentin Crisp. And still I fell asleep. I felt horrible for a moment, and then I remembered that every time Kup came to a show at Second City, he'd sit in the front row and fall asleep. So this was payback time. Anyway, Kup was the greatest, and we'll never see the likes of him again. and he would want you to know that in the second quarter, it's 10-7 Jets over Tennessee. Okay, now we're getting down to the short strokes, folks. Let's have a big hand for our next presenters. Larry Wirt, President and General Manager, WMAQ, and Allison Payne, 10 o'clock news anchor at WGN.
Hello, good evening. 10-7, that's a close game. That's a good thing, Emily. That means people are still watching. She's had her share of blowouts this year.
Larry, good to be with you.
Good to be with you, too. Good to be with one of the anchoring Allisons. It's not a crazy thought. Warner's not going to do it forever.
You got the tall one.
I did, and I'm sorry about the
chocolate
setup.
one.
It looks like one size fits small. I guess I'm lucky that Tim's the host tonight.
All right,
not you.
we start with
Wait, first I owe you a thank you.
What's that?
I mean, you had your choice of all the general managers in the great Chicago, and you picked me, so thank you.
Who told you that?
Well, isn't that how this worked? I thought the anchor picked the general manager they wanted to be with up here.
I don't mean any harm, Sugar, but I'd always pick the general manager who pays me.
Good point. Good point.
Like, no offense intended at all.
Good point, but that day
But
could
you know
come.
what- Oh, ooh,
Just
okay.
leave all doors open.
Okay, let's not get in trouble. What
All
are we,
right.
category 28?
Category 28 for anchors in news. And the nominees are
Judy Sue, Composite, WLS. Ted Perry, Composite, WITI. Malenka Pena, Composite, WSNS. Larry Potash, Composite, WGN.
Yay! Well, you know who I'm pulling for. And the Emmy goes to Larry Potash, WGN.
7:31, time for my fashion review of the International Male Catalog. Here we go. Uncle Sam wants you, but not as bad as I do, baby. Advertisers say they only care about people under 50. I say Boulder Dash. Sure, my Aunt Louise uses the same tea bag for 4 days, but she goes through 39 rolls of Charmin a week. And we're talking the expensive quilted stuff. So wake up, American TV executives. Enough with the sappy teen angst shows. Right. Stop showing youthful knockers and give me vintage knock-knock jokes. And you'll have yourself a loyal viewer. Attaboy, Larry!
Wow. I'd like to thank my wife for dealing with the morning anchor hours. I'd like to thank past and present WGN managers, including Greg Caputo, Carol Fowler, John Vitanovic, who do not forward all the angry calls to me. And I'd like to thank the very large staff that makes us all look good. And I'd like to thank my friends who I co-anchor with and make it look all easy. Thank you.
Come on over here, partner.
2 years
Next
in a row.
category,
Okay.
number 29. I don't know why this is one category. They convinced me they should have their own, but it's for anchors in weather, sports, and traffic. And the nominees are
Lehia Granados, Weather Composite, WGBO. Vince Candela, Composite, WITI. CC Key Romo, Weather Composite, WSNS.
And the winner is Vince Candela, Composite, WITI. Vince.
Contains the makeup of the air mass to which it comes from. So, a numerical weather prediction computer must figure out where each of these parcels of air is going to move over the next 24 hours, 48 hours, maybe over the next 10 days. So the computer model tries to predict what those parcels of air are doing at each of these grid points over the next 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours, etc.
Okay.
I don't think our recipient's here, so you and I will be honored to accept
Sure will.
for him this evening.
Do you have the next envelope?
I don't.
Hook us up, baby. All right. Category 30, news reporters. Let's take a look.
Alan Krzyzewski, composite, WLS. Larry Yellen, composite, WFLD. Alba Mendiola, composite, WSNS. Kevin Roy, composite, WLS. Dave Savini, composite, WNAQ.
And the Emmy winner is, we have two, Larry Yellen, WFLD, and Alba Mendiola, WSNS, Telemundo.
It has been 2 months since Legui and his 15-year-old son had burst onto the field at Comiskey Park and at the same time into the national spotlight. As a result of the attack, Kansas City Royals first base coach Tom Gamboa suffered some partial hearing loss. Legui says his defense attorney has told him not to discuss the events of September 19th. His fiancée Kelly says the only thing he remembers about that night is waking up in jail, which wouldn't be the first time.
Era un día normal, un día más de sentencia para los más de 3,000 reos de la cárcel menor, pero ese día era especial para el prisionero Mario Flores. Por primera vez en 18 años muestra una sonrisa ante una cámara de televisión.
Dijo mi nombre tan rápido que, ¿verdad? Tal vez dilató un día para que me afectara, ¿verdad? Pero ya después de que, ¿verdad?, se asentó, entonces entró remordimiento porque no pusimos perdón.
Well, I want to thank to the Academy for this opportunity and to really pay attention to our news in Spanish. We have a lot of stories to tell in our Latino community. As an immigrant, I started my career in a very small market in Mexico, and getting this is really, really an American dream for me. Gracias a todos mis compañeros, a mis jefes y a mi esposo por el apoyo que me ha dado hasta el momento. Gracias.
Two years ago, my appearance at one of these was called by an esteemed media critic the low point of the evening. So I'm going to try and get it straight tonight. But like Phil Ponce, I have always wanted to be on this stage with a woman that I loved. But unfortunately, the women that I love are all in the audience tonight. First of all, my wife, Sue Fisher-Yellen. Sitting right next to her, my producer, Diane Carbonera. Stand up, Diane. Stand up, stand up. You know, it's so ridiculous they call this individual achievement because it's not at all, as you all know, individual achievement. And finally, a woman who was up here, it seems like 3 hours ago now, Stacy Marks Bronner. And lastly, my daughter, who we just put on a plane yesterday back to college, which makes this especially nice because for a few days, we won't be so depressed that our only daughter is away at college now. Thank you very much.
He gets most improved for this year, Larry. You get that this year. Joel Wiseman, his pasta just turned into sugar in the third row right there. It's out of his seat. Category 31 for program hosts, reporters, non-news, and performers. Our Emmy nominees are
Janet Davies, composite, WLS. Phil Ponce, composite, WTTW. John Calloway, Chicago Story, WTTW. Dawn Mitchell, composite, CLTV. Darren Sutton, composite, Fox Sports Net North, Wisconsin. Aureliano Salgado, composite, WGBO.
And the winner is Darren Sutton, composite, Fox Sports Network, Wisconsin.
If you ever see one of those baseball heads, you want to know what Christmas, that is it right there. I love a baseball head.
Wow.
There is nothing more rewarding than having fun at the ballpark. But to be totally honest, it's only fun when you hit. You know, rip, crush, hammer the baseball. And it's only fun when you pitch and pitch effectively. Then, maybe hit just a little more. But just don't hit this. You might hurt something. And amongst all the fun, Rufus and Rich on the
I'm very honored because I know a lot of the colleagues and my colleagues that were nominated are from this great town, and we all from Wisconsin have a lot of respect for this great city and everything you guys do on television, and I'm honored for that. I'm honored to be married to a great woman who I met in this business a long time ago, working at CNN together as tape editors, my wife Kristen, who supports this crazy world of broadcasting baseball on television. I have a great partner. He's like my best friend, Bill Schroeder. He is here tonight. I have a great producer, John Walsh, who he and I together came up with the motto, keep your foot on the gas. And when your team averages about 98 losses a year, you have to work hard to make it entertaining sometimes. I want to thank Tim Van Wagner, who is here. He's the director of broadcasting with the Brewers. Matt Gangel's my director as well, and everyone else that made it up here tonight. You guys are great. Thank you, and I'm honored.
And thank you, Allison, and thank you, Larry. Larry and I had a poker game one night with Michael Jordan. It was one of the most incredible evenings of my life. Wild and funny. I can't go into it now. Maybe next year. I can't. No, next year. Now that we've spent an entire evening together, I feel like I can confide in you. I've never really liked A Christmas Carol. Even as a kid, I don't know. I know what you're thinking, and it's not the Tiny Tim thing. Okay, I just never liked it. And I told my wife I'm not going to go see it again, even if our kids are in it, and that goes double for the Nutcracker. I'd rather take a bullet than sit through the Nutcracker again. But I digress. Please join me now in welcoming Neil Sabin, General Manager and Executive Vice President of WCIU TV, and Sylvia Gomez, Anchor Reporter at WBBM TV.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I have to tell you, first of all, my feet are killing me. Secondly, as a Latina, I am extremely proud to see tonight, having been through a number of these ceremonies in years past, it's really a pleasure to see Telemundo and Univision not only just present in the nominee categories, but to go home winners. I think that is a tremendous step for the Latino community.
It wasn't that many years ago when people kind of chuckled over the pronunciations of all the names.
That's right.
Been a long
say
time.
Univision 3 times.
And I have to be proud of the people at WCIU because they followed my directions, which was work on your ratings, not your resumes and your Emmys. And as you can see from our performance tonight, they listened to me. No Emmys.
Next year.
Next year.
Next year. We're going to start tonight with the category number 8, that is news specials, planned coverage of a single event not incorporated within a regularly scheduled news program. The nominees are
Hometown Heroes, Eye on Chicago Special Edition, WBBM. 9/11/02, The New Homeland, WLS. 9/11 Then and Now, WGN.
The winner, the Emmy goes to.
because they are all winners.
That's right. 9/11/02, The New Homeland. Wilson Toy, producer. Barb Marikoff, producer. John Drury, reporter. Janet Davies, reporter. Producer Dan Blum. Alex Burkholder, Eric Wagner, Christine Tressel, producers.
I think that it clearly made me more proud to be a fireman and American. I'm really proud of the United States and what a great country we have.
Time heals a lot of things, but we remember that it's healing slow, so it'll heal, but not completely.
As a witness, I have an obligation to make sure people understand it.
This award wouldn't have been possible without the hard work of Barb Marikoff and Dan Bloom, who's over at Channel 2 right now. And thank Eric Wagner for the all-night editing sessions, and Ann Esp, Rodney Carell for editing a lot of the packages, and of course John Drury, the co-host, who is enjoying retirement right now, and of course Janet Davies. And thank you very much.
And Category 7, Ongoing Features Series. The nominees are
Allison Payne's Cover Stories, WGN. Target 5 Reports, WMAQ. Fox Family and Health, WFLD. Daredevil Daily, WFLD. Weather Wise, WLUK. Dean's List, WGN. Walter Jacobson's Perspective, WFLD. NBC 26 Going Places, WGBA. Chicago's very own, WGN. Dining with Dave, WMAQ.
You know, I've always wanted to open one of these things. You know, you watch all the Academy Awards and the Emmy Awards on television, and you wonder, gosh, what is that like? You know, it's really pretty cool. All right, enough about me. The Emmy goes to, in category number 7, ongoing feature series, Target 5 Reports. I'm sorry, there are 2 winners. I'm sorry, I buried the lead. There are 2 Emmys. Emmys are awarded to 2 folks in this category. Target 5 Reports for Lisa Parker, reporter, Robin Green, producer, Mark Ringo, Suzanne Richter, Tony Vitale, co-producers for MAQ, and NBC 26 Going Places. Did I make you guys wait long enough for that one? Joel Burnell, Nate Garrett, Wayne Ritter, Sean Hauser, producers, Michelle Cheplick, Mark Leland, Steve Russell, reporters, WGBA. Congratulations.
We want free cameras, the kind you can find pitched all over the internet. At around $100 a pop, they're advertised as cheap security. But who's watching whom?
The technology installed in thousands of homes around the country is pretty basic. The wireless camera sends a video signal to a receiver so it can then be viewed on a television screen or a computer monitor. Easy reception for both the camera owner on the inside and then anyone with similar equipment on the outside.
Formation for cadets at St. John's Northwestern Military Academy takes place at least 3 times a day. But it's not a scene that solely defines what this school is all about.
Leadership, values, time management, responsibility, accountability, and ambition.
Disciplines that have withstood the test of time, and ones school administrators hope will mold these boys into men.
Hi, everyone. That stand-up that you just saw was shot at Mark Ringo's house.
That was good.
And the 2 of he called it a very satisfying event that night. The 2 of them were out in a minivan just whispering for at least an hour. They were very excited. We are very honored and humbled and very pumped to win this category tonight because we have had a serious Susan Lucci thing going on. I don't want you to think that we've been counting, but it dates back to the first Clinton administration. So thank you! This is great!
Well, it took us 6 years, but I guess we're taking 2 back north of the border tonight. I'd like to thank Michelle Cheplick, one of the reporters on our stories, and my fabulous staff who concentrates on photography and good storytelling, and this is the end result. Thank you.
Well, good storytelling, that's what it's all about. That's why we all, I think, got into this business. And these things certainly make us feel better about what we've done. But at the end of the day, we all have to go home with the feeling of how we did that day, how the story was that we told. Was it a good one? And hopefully each day you feel like it was. So this is just icing on the cake. In category number 6, feature series, soft news, the nominees are
Home Makeovers, WBBM. Snow Angels, Part 1 and Part 2, WGN. 3 Health Quizzes, WMAQ. Unsung Heroes, WGN. Contact 6 Product Tests, WITI. The Experiment, Gay and Straight, WFLD. Marriage for a Green Card, WSNS.
And the Emmy goes to Home Makeovers. Vince Garasoli, reporter. Edie Caston, WBBM.
This year,
Not that I'm
Americans are
partial.
expected to spend $16 billion more on home improvements than they did just 2 years ago.
Kitchens along the heart of our homes are becoming their stylish centers.
Your dream kitchen might look perfect on paper, but the costs can quickly add up. New cabinets for a basic kitchen can start at roughly $12,000. New countertops, another $6,000. And a basic appliance package begins at roughly $5,000. It is enough to make many homeowners go back to the drawing board.
The best thing about something like this is when you get to share it with a dear friend, and Edie Caston is phenomenal. I'm so glad she's in my life. We also have to thank Mike Klingel, who was our editor-photographer on this piece. Boy, did he make it shine. Marta LeBeau for all her support. You know, we live in a metropolitan area of roughly 8 million people, and relatively few get to say proudly that they're broadcasters. We may number only in the hundreds, maybe a little over 1,000 in such a huge metropolis. There are many people who probably could do our same jobs and be able to achieve these same things, but we are the lucky ones. So we need to thank everyone we can. That includes our family, and in our case, that includes the managers that have made it possible, and we look forward to more while working with Carol Fowler, Fran Preston, and Joe Ahern. Thank you very much.
I have a special thank you for the Academy from my boss, the chairman of Weigel Broadcasting, Howard Shapiro. He says, thanks for comping the general managers. He's very appreciative. Our next category, the people who laugh know him. Category 5, single feature soft news.
Cool Picks, WBBM. Children's ER, WMAQ. Mary Todd Lincoln, CLTV. Robert Hansen, Toddler to Traitor, WBBM. Baby Heart, WMAQ. Camp Horizon, Camp Equality, WLS. A Day in the Life of NBA referee Danny Crawford, Fox Sportsnet Chicago. The Winner Loses, WMAQ. Las Mil y Una Cara, WGBO. Securing the Sky, WMAQ. Wind and Fire, WEEK. The Heart Goes On, WGN. Worth Waiting For, WGN.
I tell you, I would not want to have to actually judge any of these because I know the decisions are very difficult. There's a lot of wonderfully qualified pieces that are in this category. But the Emmy goes to 2 winners tonight. Category number 5, single feature is soft news. The Winner Loses. Marion Brooks, reporter, WMAQ. Oh, why don't you read this one?
Is it because the names are hard to pronounce?
Yes.
Yeah. The Heart Goes On. Dina Baer, reporter. Catherine Sisnick, Gwen Webster, Sean Maroney, producers, WGN.
Congratulations.
In 1998, Cindy Spina sued the Cook County Forest Preserve Police. In 2001, she won, but that victory could leave her in debt.
That's $99,000 that Officer Spina has to pay out of her pocket because she had the courage to say, this is wrong.
Anytime there's a judgment or a settlement on a civil rights case where there's no physical injury, we're talking cases like discrimination or harassment, the client is responsible for the taxes on the damages and on the attorney's fees.
One night. 2 mothers. The first saying goodbye.
The pain of losing a child will carry with you, I'm learning, forever.
The other daring to hope as she receives the gift of her son's life from a total stranger.
Another boy gets to live, and another mother doesn't have to mourn like I do.
Talk about a good ending to a really bad day that started out at a funeral, actually.
A dear friend of ours told us that his mother said before she died, we can't choose the way we die, but we can always choose the way we live. And I think the people in this story really exemplify that, and I feel so privileged to have been able to tell their story. I couldn't have done it well without my producer and right hand, Catherine Zink, who is just so wonderful. Sean Maroney, who always shoots our medical pieces with such sensitivity, and Quan Webster, who really made it sing in the Edit Bay. I also have to thank my husband because I live these stories when I'm doing them, and I wake up in the middle of the night with ideas, and he's always like, oh gosh, not again. So to anyone that knows him, you know that he is the real prize. So thank you, hon. Thank you.
Marion's actually working tonight, so I'm accepting on her behalf. This was a story about a woman who won a sexual harassment lawsuit and ended up paying more in legal fees and taxes than she actually won. Marion does a great job on these type of stories, and this is a testament to that. And so on her behalf, thank you.
Thank you, Sylvia. Neil, here's a quiz. See if you can guess the author of this quote. Television has done much for psychiatry by spreading information about it as well as contributing to the need for it. You know who said that? Ring, ring. Alfred Hitchcock. Our seventh caller to WBBM News Radio 78 answered correctly and wins 2 tickets to the Nutcracker. Okay, now, please welcome our final presenters for this evening, and thank you so much for your cooperation. They are Daniel Schmidt, President and CEO of WTTW 11 Network Chicago, George Blaze, host of The Homework Show on WCIU and WFBT, and Luisa Torres, host of Nuestros Niños on WYCC TV 20. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Tim.
If Elliot Ephraim is still in the room, Elliot, I want you to know that it really is Pledge Week on Channel 11. And we're looking for talent. You're pretty good.
I'm looking for a job.
Hey.
Oh, see that? This is how it all happens. This has been such a great evening, and I'm hoping after this is all over, everyone can come over to my ranch, milk and cookies, maybe jump in the bed. No. It's really innocent, really.
The roller coaster's really worth it. Well, here we are. This is the Final Four. And it's not even March yet.
No.
So let's get right to it. It's been a long night. We're dealing with category number 4, Feature Series Hard News, and the nominees are...
Life and Death in Illinois, WBBM. What's in Your Backyard, WMAQ. Journey to the Center of the Web, WLS. The Crash of 59 Charlie, WGN. Critical Signs, WBBM. Hidden Exposure, WMAQ. Calling for Trouble, WITI. Sounding the Alarm, WISN.
And the Emmy goes to...
All right. If I get it out of the envelope here. Category 4, Feature Series Hard News, goes to Hidden Exposure. Lisa Parker, Robin Green, Mark Ringo, WMAQ.
Zonamart, marketed as do-it-yourself, cheap and efficient. But there was one other property of this insulation never revealed to the homeowners who bought it. It was contaminated with the most lethal, cancer-causing type of asbestos known. Target 5 obtained records that show the asbestos-contaminated vermiculite was shipped to more than 300 points nationwide, including 49 in Illinois and 17 in Indiana.
Hi, everybody. We owe a serious debt of gratitude on this one to a newspaper reporter by the name of Andrew Schneider in St. Louis. Andy did the seminal work on this topic, and we were lucky enough to learn from what he had learned and reported, and to talk to him about it, and to pick up where he left off as would relate to Chicago consumers. And The administration in Washington continues to bury and ignore this story, and we feel very lucky that our own administration here in Chicago continues to let us tell this story about a really bad substance that's made by an extremely powerful and politically connected company. So, our thanks to them. Thank you.
All right, our next category, number 3, single feature hard news, and the nominees are?
The Job Hustle, WBBM. The Secret Ingredient, WMAQ. Where Du Bois Are, WBBM. ERs in Crisis, WBBM. Thin at All Costs, WMAQ. Still Drunk, Still Driving, WITI. El Precio de una Mejor Vida, WGBO. Tornado Safety, WBBM. Dying for a Cure, WMAQ. Eric Morse's Killer, WFLD.
And the Emmy goes to Still Drunk, Still Driving. Bob Siegel, reporter, Michelle Murray, Dave Mishuda, Jim Wilson, producers, WITI.
This 6-time drunk driver works at the state's largest producer of alcohol.
Do you have any intention whatsoever to stop driving or to stop driving drunk?
Drivers in Wisconsin were convicted of repeat drunk driving about 23,000 times.
Why is there no follow-through?
The system was never designed with follow-through. I mean, that's the frustration that is shared by a lot of folks.
Would you let somebody walk out of a courtroom convicted of armed robbery without requiring that he turned over the gun he used in the crime?
Thank you. I wish Bob Siegel was here tonight, but I'll bring this to him tomorrow. Thanks.
This is exciting. Now we're going to category number 2, investigative reporting. And the nominees are?
Q. Armed and Asleep, WLS. City Time Killers, WBBM. Worst Case Scenario, WLS. Prescriptions for Profit, WBAY. Dirty Work, WMAQ. Fatal Flaws, a breakdown in the gun background checks, WITI. Who's Taking Your Toll, WMAQ.
And we have 2 winners tonight in this category, investigative reporting. First, worst case scenario, Chuck Gowdy, reporter, and Piston producer, Steve Irwin, Mark Skurdrow, Rodney Carell, co-producers, WLS. And secondly, not in any particular order, Fatal Flaws, a breakdown in the gun background checks, Bob Siegel, reporter, Michelle Murray, Dave Mishuda, Ernest Santiago, Jason Cutter, producers, WITI.
While U.S. officials worry about whether Iraq will use chemical weapons overseas, tonight the I-Team finds what could be turned into a chemical weapons right here in Chicago and the suburbs.
After examining records, the I-Team has identified 15 plants in the Chicago area that could affect as many as 3 million people in less than an hour were one of them successfully attacked.
No, nothing has changed. Absolutely nothing since 9/11. It's always in the back of your mind and you're constantly thinking about it. You don't know if this will be your day.
No one searched my past, so how was I able to get around the law? It was frighteningly easy.
You're aware there's a 2-day waiting period? Yeah. Okay.
The federal law that requires background checks and waiting periods for all gun sales only applies to guns bought from licensed dealers. At a gun show, you'll find some people who are not licensed to sell guns. In most cases, they can sell any gun to anybody. As long as it's considered a private sale, there's no waiting period, no criminal background check.
These are the people who stand behind what we do every day. And these are the people, along with all of the people from ABC 7, who make us the #1 news team in Chicago.
Well, we will accept for the second winner very thankfully. All right, this is the final category.
Uh-oh, the last one.
The last one.
You know, a little suggestion for next year's ceremony. I think every time, we switch presenters, there should be a round of cocktails, because I've been here all night. I'm telling you, doesn't make any sense, It's been like 3 hours. I'm like, all right, $9 glass of wine didn't last that long. Sure.
George, you must be on a low-carb diet.
Well, tonight I am.
All right, category number 1, spot coverage, and the nominees are...
Water main break, WLS. Columbia shuttle tragedy, WGN. E2 tragedy, WBBM. E2 nightclub disaster, WMAQ. Nightclub disaster, WLS. Lakeshore Drive protest, WFLD. Blanket clemency, freedom from death row, WLS. Governor's pardons, WBBM. Darian Chapman Obit, WMAQ.
All right, and the final Emmy of the evening goes to Water Main Break. Wilson Toy, executive producer, Jose Sanders, Judy Sue, Roz Barone, WLS TV.
Breaking news to tell you, a huge water main break shuts down Lakeshore Drive.
It is spewing out like a geyser, as you can see from Chopper 7.
Just talked to the building engineer at 3520 North Lakeshore Drive. He tells me there's already about 4 feet of water in the underground parking garage of that building.
Can you tell us what the latest is, Lieutenant?
All right, the latest information we have is we've lost about a 54-inch water main on the inner Lakeshore Drive at about 3550 North. That's caused a large cave-in of the street.
I'm really surprised that this one instead of the one of the nominations for the E2 nightclub disaster because of the significance of that story, but we'll never forget this morning, will we, Ben? When I sent a young, eager reporter, Ben Bradley, out there. And Roz, who's the best traffic reporter in town, showed that she's just as adept at news. And all the behind-the-scenes people, Jamie, Rob in the control room, Marcia, Don Valaro's not here, Darlene Guido, and so on and so forth. I guess this is the big one. We won it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been an absolutely wonderful audience tonight. Now it's time to wake up and go home. The bar at Petterino's is still open. If you're driving, please buckle up. Watch out for deer. Thanks for being so kind to me this evening, and God bless us, everyone.